20 years ago, the digital cookie revolutionized digital marketing. It represented a breakthrough in understanding consumer behavior, allowing for personalized marketing and was great at tracking user activity. And this technology has been the cornerstone in digital marketing landscape for the last 20 years. And it has laid the ground for advanced analytics and targeted advertising. This means that for the first time, when this was invented, marketing could be accurately measured and targeted one-to-one. But already when it was invented, there was raised some privacy concerns. But it didn't really matter because it was so useful. It could track valuable behaviors like what product you visited, what landing pages you were on, what different website you visited before the purchase, and on and on and on through this really simple but very powerful technology. And it could track your behavior over time to understand your preferences, your interests across many different websites. It could be used to analyze your marketing, to understand how different channels contributed to your sales. And it could be used to transfer information between millions and millions of different marketing systems. A really useful little bugger. However, in the growing reliance on cookies and similar technologies, some serious privacy concerns was raised. And users started employing ad blockers, disabling cookies, using VPNs to protect their privacy. And this shift in consumer behavior, coupled with the introduction of the GDPR regulations, signaled for a paradigm shift in digital marketing. And this was over a decade ago. So now the era of intrusive data collection were being challenged, forcing marketers to rethink their strategies. But not too many actually did rethink it. They continued in the same old ways, hoping that someone would fix it so that nothing would actually change. And now it's taken the GDPR about a decade to be properly implemented. And now we can actually see it coming into effect. And now Google will finally switch off the cookies this year, and Apple has already done it. And the effect of this is becoming visible to all marketers. Prices goes up, accuracy goes down, less transparency, what the effect is and what contributed to it. But as everything changes, everyone wants to stay the same. Because as humans, we are actually adverse to change. We don't like the change, not even when it's for the better. And the marketing industry, having been built on this now questionable technologies, is facing a crisis. The traditional methods of data collection and analysis are becoming increasingly ineffective and even legally questionable. Marketers have trained for over 2 decades to use these, really powerful, simple but intrusive technologies. And now everyone is at a crossroads. The challenge is to navigate this environment with less direct traffic, less direct tracking, larger data silos, and a pressing need to understand the consumer behavior without infringing on privacy. And there are many aspects of this, but none smaller than actually being able to understand the marketing as a whole. So when changes approach, it's very easy to try anything to stave it off, postpone or delay this change. Many new technologies have been invented to try to maintain the function of the cookies, but there's a risk to business that don't respect the changes in user attitudes, the change in legislation, and this can really adversely impact businesses both short and long term. I've worked over the last decade on developing methods for measuring and analyzing first-party data. This is data being under your direct control and it's a data that's a part of your business. And it's not only safer, but it's also compliant with the emerging privacy standards. And despite the industry's slow response, we have invested heavily in solutions that operate beyond the traditional silos and platforms, preparing for a future where privacy and data control will be paramount. An approach that also resonates really well with how we operate, and this is UMM, Unified Marketing Measurements. And UMM is all about creating the overview, the unified view, the holistic view. UMM means integrating your data sources, primarily your first-party data, into a single view. And this is also a great approach to adapt to the GDPR and the new privacy trends. And by working with first-party data and not tracking and surveilling the users. And with a more holistic view, it is a lot easier to make sense of all the different channels, the different data sets, and the data models. And this opened up to simplify analysis, create new insights, and actually create an actionable understanding of your marketing as a whole. And this, I think, is also a forward-thinking perspective on the market and looking at those mega trends that we see impacting digital marketing. And it is a perspective that lets you embrace the changes rather than resisting them and actually respecting the consumers. And by focusing on the commonalities in data, simplifying complex analytics, and accepting the depreciation of the old methods, you can actually regain control. Because the future of marketing is not in gathering more data, but rather in understanding the data better, respecting user privacy, and creating actionable insights of what is actually directly available to you today.